Okay, in this video I'm going to be flying the GT-M515 with some new props, and I'm going to try three different batteries here. I'm going to try the same 850 4S I did before, but I'm going to be doing some different props here. These are the DALprop T5051 props, so actually lighter than the GEM 5042 props, but at a higher pitch. So I think it was like 17.3 versus like 14.3 or 13.3 grams. I'll put pictures up on with the weights up on the screen, but this overall the four props here will weigh less. The whole drone weighs less, so it's a little bit higher pitch, but it should be faster. And let's see what this is like on that same battery. See if I get less flight time or better performance, whatever, I'm not sure. And I'm going to be trying out a new tune, some new PIDs that Diatone sent me. I'll put those up on the screen when I bring up the OSD during the flight demo. And then after that I'm going to try a 1300 milliamp hour Lipo, much heavier. Obviously I'm going to be able to pull more amps. Maybe we'll see if there's any more power. And then I'm going to go the other way, and I'll try a 3S 850, much lighter. Obviously it'll be less performance, but maybe we'll have better flight time. So I'm going to give this a try, and we'll see how the performance is on each of these batteries. Okay, so this is the 850 4S, and just show you what the new PIDs are. These are the ones that Diatone sent me. Let's see how they do on this prop. So far this feels pretty good. A little bit of prop wash there. It's a much louder prop. This one does draw a little bit more amps than the 5042. I think it's faster as well. Yeah, it's definitely, it feels faster on this prop. I'm feeling we have a shorter flight time. Does feel a little bit less floaty on this prop. I think maybe it's because it's higher pitched and a little bit thinner than the 5042. It's a little hard to describe. The turning does seem to be a little bit better on this prop. Maybe it's because it's on this motor, the lighter prop is able to react faster to my inputs. Yeah, I'm able to really turn on a dime on this one. These PIDs look pretty good so far. 14.7 volts. Very, very floaty. Okay, I imagine I'm probably more than halfway through the battery. It says I'm at 411 milliamps. I think it's pretty accurate. So let's see what the punch out's like halfway through. Not bad, considering how light this is. I think with the smaller props, I'm down to about 185 grams for the quad weight. So I did adjust the current sensor value, or the adjustment scale, a little bit. So I think so far it looks like it's about spot on. 14.3, 4 volts at 540 milliamps drawn. Yeah, this tune seems pretty locked in. I kind of like it actually, a lot better than the original tune that I had. I feel like I have pretty good control with this prop. Yeah, I would recommend this prop over the GM515 5042 for this setup. Actually, I think I like it on this particular battery. I don't know how it's going to feel on the larger battery. My opinion might change. I mean, this ultralight, I guess, really is designed for lighter setups. So you don't want to be putting a giant battery on this unless you just want to cruise around. You know, that's probably what the 1300 is going to be like. Is I'm probably going to be mostly cruising around, getting a super long flight time. I may not even finish that battery. I'm already at 4.5 minutes on this one, 675 milliamps. I don't remember how long I flew around on the other prop the first time around. 14 volts now, 700 milliamps. So I'm going to go ahead and land it. That's pretty good for this first battery. Let's see what the 1300 feels like. I feel like carrying around that extra weight is going to be very noticeable, but I'll go ahead and pop that on there and we'll give that a try. Okay, so I'm going to be trying the 1300 milliamp hour battery now. Obviously it's going to be heavier, so let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, it definitely feels a little bit heavier and a little bit sloppier. So if you're going with a heavier battery, you're going to have to increase your P gains probably a little bit. But I'm going to, yeah, it's a little loose here. But I'm going to try and give it a go here just on the tune that I have. This is a tone that, the tune that was on there before was really meant for an 850. That's what they're recommending as the battery to go with. I think that's a good battery to go with. You get 5 minutes of flight time on that, good performance, good flight time. Yeah, this just feels sluggish compared to the 850. It's much heavier. I don't know what the weight differences were. I think I might have flashed them on the screen earlier. If not, I'll do that now. But yeah, it feels heavier. Doesn't feel like it's like underpowered or anything, but I can feel the weight. I can feel it carrying that extra weight around. It doesn't feel nearly as locked in. But that could be just, you know, me having to change the PIDs for this weight, which you're going to have to do, you know, if you want to go to a bigger battery. But I don't, you know what, I don't recommend it. This doesn't feel nice. Let's do a full speed pass here. Yeah, for the full speed passes, when you go full throttle, it'll deliver the amps for longer. So, you know, for all out drag racing, the bigger battery is going to help out there. You can see how much longer it's carrying that speed with the bigger battery. You get more amps. Yeah, but in terms of the feel, very different from before. Very, very different. Although, again, because of the extra weight, it doesn't feel quite as floaty. Still a little bit floaty. It's still decent power for the setup because it is pretty light overall still, even with the 1300. Yeah, I'm having to think about my flying a little bit more here, dealing with the different flight characteristics of this heavier battery. I definitely stick with an 850. But get something with a decent C rating. I would say 75-80C should be good. I think the one I was using was maybe, I think it was a 45C. So I don't think this setup really draws that much amps. Yeah. So that power loop did cause the beeper to go off. And I'm at a 500, almost 560 milliamps drawn, 14.6 volts, 3.5 minutes. So I'm pretty sure you're going to get a pretty long flight time in this. I don't want to drag this one out too long because I just wouldn't fly around personally on a 1300 unless you just want to cruise around like this and that's all you want to do. You could probably squeeze, gosh, I don't know. I'm at 600. Let's just double that. So if I'm at 650, it's 1200, almost 1300. This is the 1300. So at 4 minutes, you probably get a 7 to 8 minute flight. And so you're carrying around a lot of extra weight to get maybe 2.5 minutes more flight time, is my guess. I don't know if that's worth it to me. I think 5 is plenty. I think I'll just stick with the 850 personally. All right, so I'm going to try out the 3S 850, see how that feels. Okay, so this is the 850 3S Lipo. Let's see how this one feels. So this is actually the same Lipo that I think it came with the GT200 from LDRC, or the 200 GT, I believe. I might be mistaken. I think this one actually came with the FlyEgg Pro 138, sorry. So that one is also a 3S 4S for 3-inch. I want to see what this would feel like. Just curious. I don't think I'm going to get quite as long of flight time. I can tell it's quite a bit underpowered, but if you're a beginner and want to go to something a little slower to learn, this is one way to go for sure, and it flies for sure. Definitely flies. I can hear something rubbing against the props. Might be the battery strap. Let's do another full speed punch out here. So, considering the 3S and smaller battery, not too bad. This is probably a pretty good 5-inch beginner setup if you want to do 3S and want something a little bit more docile to learn on. But yeah, it's definitely, you can still do flips and rolls. Obviously the tune for this is all off because I'm on 3S here. But yeah, you can tell it's a lot slower. But I could probably maneuver through these gaps a little bit better. Yeah, this is actually kind of feels like I'm flying a micro now. So that's another thing, if you guys are trying to learn how to do tricks, go to a 3S. It's one way to slow things down. As long as you have enough power, you should still be able to get things, do the maneuvers and stuff. Obviously certain things you can't do, but it just feels like everything's slowed down. I'm not really sure if the current meter is going to be calibrated properly for 3S. Well, I guess we'll find out. 11.1 volts, 3 minutes. Also, another benefit of flying 3S is that it's going to be a lot quieter than 4S, of course. So you can probably fly at a larger park, maybe not disturb people too much. Yeah, we're already at 4.5 minutes here. So maybe I might get, I'm just kind of cruising around, not really pushing the throttle too much, so might get a similar flight time here on the 854S, obviously with less performance. Yeah, I think probably similar, but possibly even a little bit longer in terms of flight times. Perhaps an added benefit for going to 3S. A lot less weight, of course. Okay, about 10.8 volts, 500 milliamps drawn. Go call it quits at 5 minutes here. Probably could go longer, but frankly, I'm a little bit bored. Let's go ahead and end the flight demo for now.